Update. I'm finally back home. I received messages, voicemails, emails, and missed calls, mostly from my wife and a few from friends and family. It turns out the friends we were with that fateful weekend had informed my parents of what went on, along with a few other mutual friends who had inquired about my well-being since he'd been pretty much radio silent since I left for my trip. The messages from my wife started with the usual empty platitudes, insincere apologies, etc. I assumed that when I didn't give her the satisfaction of responding, the messages became more menacing and darker, almost to the point of threatening. I rang her and told her that I landed back in the UK and I'd be home after I made a quick stop off at my mother's house. She seemed overly affectionate and sweet on the phone and almost had me wondering if it was the same person I left. When I got home, my wife practically rugby tackled me the second I was through the door again, showering me with affection as if nothing had happened at all. She made small talk, asking if I'd enjoyed my trip, where I'd been, and what I'd seen. I waved her off my lap, sat her down on the sofa next to me, and asked her bluntly if she'd decided on the 2 envelopes I presented to her before I left. She simply offed at me and asked if I was serious because she assumed I was just being childish and throwing a tantrum. I informed her that I was deadly serious about it, and if she'd given it any thought. She just smirked at me and told me to stop being stupid and get over it. My reply was that she'd given me her answer and thanked her for letting me know where I stood. At which point, I rang the solicitor who drew up the 2 sets of papers. Although I hated ringing her on a Friday afternoon while she was likely with family, she asked me what choice my wife had made. I informed her that I didn't want to discuss it over the phone and could make an appointment next week to discuss it in person and go over my options. As I wrote down the appointment time, I caught my wife staring daggers at me, and I was so red in the face that I thought she might be on the verge of either having a stroke, a heart attack, or both. After I finished the call, I turned to face her, and before she had time to say anything, I told her she'd made her choice and that I was serious about it. I heard her on the phone sobbing to her best friend about the situation, asking for help on how she could fix it. I couldn't hear the other half of the conversation, but from the sobs my wife was making, I could only assume that the advice wasn't what she wanted to hear.